Hi YouTube, just Robbie here, and thank you for popping onto my channel. I do a bit of everything really. I started off predominantly just having a bit of a video diary for my holidays and stuff, and it's kind of evolved, and you know, I've just sort of put a few more thoughts into some things, and I just felt like sharing with yourself and stuff. So bit of a, you know, random stuff, but I have got some exciting times ahead of me for 2019 and 2020. Me and the lads are planning a great holiday, but meanwhile, do hit the subscribe button so you can kind of keep hit the little bell sign as well, and that'll email you when I upload something new. But do please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, share it with other people. The next video coming up is one of my more madder ones, but you know, it's about asking why. But do more importantly, subscribe, like, share. Thanks. Hello YouTube. There's something that's been niggling me for an awful long time, and I really mean an awful long time. I think since they started like sending up the ISS, you know, with Mir space station, the Russians, and then they did this collaboration, you know, with the European Space Agency, the Russians, and the like, to create the International Space Station. And you know, they've spent, you know, somewhere in the region of 120, 130 billion pounds, dollars. You know, hey, look, you know, what's the difference? And the bit that really I don't understand, and this is I suppose my logic is I'm always asking why. It used to drive my mum nuts as a child, and my teachers nuts, because I'd never take the answer for granted, and I'd always ask why. And I want you to kind of, if you can, kind of think like this, because when you look in the 1960s and this space race was going on between, you know, sort of Russia and America flexing their muscles and everything, and you had like Russia put the first satellite in space, Russia put the first animal in space, Russia put the first man in space, Russia put the first woman in space, and America got to the moon first. Woo! And Russia went, oh well, you know, you beat us, all right then. And then America went, do you know what, we're not going to go to the moon anymore because it's quite expensive. What I don't understand is, why have we not been back? And I know some of you sit there and go, oh, China's just landed a rover on there, and you know, China done this, and you know, America's done. But why have we not been back? You know, why have we not been back to the moon? Why have we not walked on the moon? Why have we spent all of these untold billions, right, on building the International Space Station, when we know that if we want to get to Mars or any other planets, we have to have a space station on the moon? It's the only way that we can, because otherwise you put so much weight into a rocket, it will never get off the ground, off of Earth, to be able to then get on there. So you need a space station, ideally with a reliable source of fuel, which we suspect that, you know, the moon has actually got. But why have we not been back? Bearing in mind that during the 70s also, the Americans and the Russians spent billions of pounds, and I mean billions of pounds, and we'll never actually know the true figure because it's quite secretive, on what was dubbed in the 80s the Star Wars project, which is like these satellites revolving around the Earth that, you know, geostationary, with you know, all of these nuclear weapons pointing down at each other for MAD, you know, mutually assured destruction. So why, and when you look at the moon, right, there's the reason why you only see one side of the moon is, and it's called the you know, the side that we can't see is called the dark side. It's not actually dark all the time. It's just the way that the moon's revolves one full revolution in the same time it revolves around the Earth one full revolution, meaning that we only get to see one side. Now, if you want to put a military space station with lots of nukes pointing down at your enemy, the moon strategically is bloody good for that, because every 12 hours you can send down as much onto your opposition, MAD, mutually assured destruction, as you can. So I don't understand, why have we not, as in human race, why have we not been back to the moon? My thoughts is aliens. I know, I'm mad. Yes, go on, comment below. Aliens this, aliens that. I've even had somebody say to me once, oh, well, you know, there can't be aliens out there, you know, because these places haven't got the atmosphere that we've got. Well, that's great, mate, but can you breathe underwater? Because fish can't live on land, just like you can't live underwater. So, you know, and what we've also got to remember about aliens, right, is we all sit there and poo-poo these people and stuff, and, you know, naturally all the ones that have been, you know, taken by aliens they're all a bit fruitcakey. Maybe that is because they've been probed in places that you wouldn't normally want to be. But what we've got to remember is, so I was born in 1975, right? Pretty much when we stopped going to the moon. My grandfather, who fought in World War II, was, you know, born in the 100 years ago, pretty much, give or take a few years. Now, the motor car's only been around for, you know, just over 100 years. Aviation has only really just had its 100th anniversary, etc., etc. So, you know, what the leaps in technology that we've seen in the last 100 years, right, is, you know, infinitely mind-blowing, right? And, you know, when you sort of think about what it was like as a child and what technology we have today, what's it going to be like when I'm 80 years old? So going back to aliens, right? Oh, and how do they get across space and time and everything else? What you've got to remember is this planet that we're on has been around for 4.5 billion years, right? Billion, not million, billion, right? You've only really started getting really exciting with plant life and animal life and, you know, things that can actually start doing stuff for like the last 500 million. Yeah, so do your maths. Yeah, just about 1/10 of the Earth's life, give or take a few, 1/12. So in the last kind of 30-odd thousand years, humans have been around. Yeah, missing link as well, da-da-da-da-da, how do we get there, all of that sort of conspiracy theory. But so it's only really in the last kind of 30,000 years that we've been doing stuff, but it's only really been in the last 100 years that things have got really, really interesting in terms of technology and advances in that. So what's to say that an alien race haven't been around for 100,000 years and got 70,000 years advanced technology from our point? I mean, where will we be in 100 years time, let alone 70,000 years? So, you know, come on, think about it, right? Don't just poo-poo the thing, oh yeah, because there actually is an awful lot of evidence to suggest that there are aliens on the moon. So now ask, why have we not been back?